What it's doing, guys. So I had to take the greenhouse out today. It was like that bad wind whipping that around. So looking good. Mako's, she doing okay. So we had the boards this morning. The wind surviving the beam antenna. Looking beautiful this morning. It's kind of cold wind. I'll show you the Mako what it looks like. You guys have seen it many times. That's what they do in the wind, but we're having the high wind advisory until 11 o'clock this morning. So I give you guys, we had some really rough winds for about 20 minutes, so I'm sitting out there. That's usually, you guys to see that wind when it does that. She's okay. Get to zoom out. That's what they do, but beam, she's looking beautiful. I know what happened in the greenhouse on that, but we had to strip that out this morning. So we had that rain. Our garden's doing good. You guys see the garden growing. Can we get a zoom on that? So we got garden growing, but cold wind, but we got that cold front, but that was a lot of rain last night. We had a tree fell down there this morning in the backyard, not in our area. It's off the area down the hole, so it's looking good. I'm showing the wind conditions of this Sirio antenna. Look at that, guys. I'm standing back from this in case something happens, but she's still on 310 degrees, guys, like last night. We had these trees were whipping so bad this morning. You guys see it up there. That's when they whip around like that a lot of times. Because we got those canyon winds I told you about. So she's looking okay. I told 2112 where it's actually, where we get the winds from a lot. This is our northwest direction. That direction where that thing's pointing, the antenna is, that's toward British Columbia. The other part from when you swing it right, that's toward Alaska. That's actually toward all the way to Alaska when you swing it to the more to the right. But this is like where the big tree, that's our due west over there between that way. If you move it between, that's around 290 right there on that direction toward Utah right there. So she's holding up pretty good. But you see the Mako whipping around, but that's why I put those ropes on there. So we got some good cold wind this morning. So I'll show you guys up here, we're going to give you some experience. The greenhouse is looking okay, guys, you can see it. I'm out in this high wind advisory right now. We'll have to probably make this stronger for the greenhouse. So we had major thunderstorms this morning. I haven't checked this out, I just looked at it this morning. Everything's looking good on the beam. You guys can see it moving around. I'm giving you a little wind test. It's probably down at least down to 15 mile an hour winds, but it was like 30 miles an hour early this morning, and these trees were whipping hard. But the antenna hardly barely moved when it did. But I will not move it in this weather when I'm doing the radio show. Not today, but I will not move it in this kind of conditions. Only when it's raining, it's okay, but we're all right. The chicken coop did pretty good, guys. It did survive. So the chicken coop's looking good. Yeah, we're okay with it. So we have this high wind. We had thunderstorms this morning. They only last about a minute and a half, but some places had a lot worse than me. Tornadoes were at least 80 miles away from me, over the plateau, down there in Spencer, Tennessee. And mostly, let me get this zoom out quite a bit. There we go. And you guys can barely see it moving. This wind's like cold wind, but it's starting to die down quite a bit, but we're looking good. So we're looking all right. So the beam can handle good high winds. I'll tell you, this is like, our canyon winds are right over that, on that gap over there, where you guys know where it's at. But all this mountain here to that direction, it's all protected here. Like I told you about, the big mountain, the big mother of all mountains here in this area. You guys know what it is. This is the area where the canyon winds are coming from, that direction there. That's usually Highway 70, about 3 to 4 miles away. But most of those guys are taking a big beating on the plateaus right now, but it's probably more windy up there than down here. We're 800 feet. That's 2,000 foot between 1,000 foot plateaus up there. So we're getting the wind from the west right now. Yeah. You guys can hear the wind blowing. I'm going to back up for a minute so you guys can see it. myself not to trip over. You guys get a glimpse of this guy. Macov5000. She's doing great. But the only thing I have to do once in a while is pop those ground ratios in. That's all you have to do to check them out. They're not going to fall down. They will stay on the edge, but usually that's the worst thing they rock and roll. Earlier today it was whipping very hard, but the ropes held up pretty good, just like it's always been the same thing. These clouds are moving fast right now. And they're already over in Knoxville right now. But that tree is the one that protects it. In the summertime, these will be all green leaves, and the ticks will start coming back out in April. The Lone Star ticks, that's what we get here. They mostly are in leaves. That's the only thing they'll be in, mostly in leaves, guys. I've got them many times, I've picked them off many times. But that's what I do with the garden in the winter instead of the summer, because you don't have to deal with the ticks and stuff. Most of we got a snake in the shed. The only worst thing, our shed door opened this morning, and that iron pole got knocked through it. We'll get in a minute, pick it up right now. That's just my thing. It's looking good, guys. She's hardly not even touching the wind. You guys see how strong it is? That's why I put this rope on her for many times. I built the system really quite well. You guys see how I did all that. And most of those guys, the Smoky Mountain skip chasers are cool guys. Sometimes their antennas get blown down all the time. They're on towers, but they made them strong. That's what I'm saying. But if they built theirs right, they'll survive on their winds. But Rooster has a system, has a thing, but I'm sure they lose antennas all the time where they live from due snowstorms. But you gotta look at my serial design, especially for Bobcat. This will do good. But probably gets a lot of high winds down where it's at. But I'm in a tree protection. If you have a lot of tree protection, this thing's 22 feet. It should be okay at this rate. It's just cold wind, but it's gonna be cold in the next few days. But it's all right, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Just want to give you guys an idea with the wind test of the serial antenna. If anybody's going to get one of these do good in high winds. If you have a lot of tree protection, the serial will be fine. And if you built it right, put ropes on like I do, and do like the mast I did like a couple months ago, you've seen on my videos, on my project videos you guys seen. So this gives guys an idea, but you'll learn some from my mistakes, what I did, how the weight would happen. That's what was the issue. So she's doing good. We're gonna be rock and roll. I would even wait till this wind dies down. Gotta wait till this ground dries. We might be on the air and having fun during every day. But when the cold weather comes in, I like it when it's cold. When the radios are cold, they like cold weather a lot. That's what I like about it. And plus, that's where you get the good conditions, the clear skies. But last night we were talking on the radio before I had to shut off the live stream. I was here in Australia out there. At around 8 o'clock last night, I could actually hear a guy in Australia on channel 37. He was talking, and that's the only thing I saw. They were hitting like 1 pound between two, but they were coming very good. But yeah, the antenna's not bent. It's looking pretty good, so you guys can see it. Give you guys a look at a glimpse. But I need to stay out of under these trees so I don't get hit by the wind so much. So yeah, mostly we get a lot of rod trees out there. They fell down in the backyard. They go in that hole. So yeah, it's all those frogs you hear down in the little river. It's like a little river cat down there. But yeah, it's looking good. You guys can see the beam antenna. She's doing beautiful. She's holding up very good. So I'm telling you, a 2112 is going to get one of these antennas, like a serial antenna, like a 3-element. It's going to do okay with the wind. I know you guys get, this is the kind of winds they have like in northern Utah, like the canyon winds. This is like what reminds of canyon winds all the time. Instead, if you're not in a tree protection zone, that's the only problem with this. Some don't have tree protection areas, some do. It's looking good, guys. The Mako will whip around in any kind of wind. It will do that because it does that. That's why these things survive. The only problem, like I told you guys a while back, you just have to pop in those ground ratios once in a while. You have to check them every couple weeks. We'll be okay. So that'll be alright. So she's doing good. So, just want to give you an update on the wind report. So the wind advisory will be ending until 11 o'clock today, but like I told you, we had thunderstorms this morning. But the thunderstorms didn't have a lot of wind, had a lot of rain. It was coming down like tropical storm type condition with that big line that went through this morning. And we had thunderstorms for at least for about a minute and a half, almost 5 minutes. It went very quick. And we're probably got lucky here where we're at because this area cut them down in half and they just move pretty fast. We're probably gonna get more of this in the spring during April because they get the tornado season here and severe thunderstorms. Mostly they stay on the plateau, a lot of the tornadoes do, but it just depends on this. But when the weather gets warmer, there'll be more thunderstorms, but in the summertime they get less. But that's what I'm saying. So we're getting a lot of those trees whipping from the west right now. Yep. Man, we have that pine tree, but that's on the area. It's looking good. You guys can hear the wind whipping, but that's what we get. But it was actually much windy earlier today. A lot windier. I hear a branch cracking right now. Could be a tree falling down. I don't know. I'm looking at, that's what we gotta listen to, that cracking sound when trees fall down. It's not hitting over there, it's way over that side. It's not hitting near my area. And they're whipping around. They're probably landing on a tree right now. I'm looking at it right over there. Oh yeah. I see it over there. That one's gonna crack down soon, way in the distance. That one's about to fall down. Or just whipping up the wind. They happen all the time. They land on trees and they fall down. That's why you gotta stay out of the trees when it's windy, because they don't want them to fall down. But I heard it crack a little bit just a second ago, but it's not in my area. It's way down there, so it's looking good. So it's not gonna hit near me. It's probably landing on some tree up there. I just saw it over just a second ago. And it's leaning against something there. Yeah, probably the tree's whipping around, but yeah. That one's about to go. Yeah, they do that. Yeah. So we're looking okay. It's just jiggling like a wobbling thing so bad. Yeah, I just saw that just a second ago, but it's way over there. It's gonna hit somebody's fence in a few minutes there. But probably will go down soon, I know. But they happen like this, but at least the tree's aimed the other way. So that's probably like downhill that direction. But they probably happen. But when you hear that crack sound, when you start hearing it like that, you gotta get away from those trees when it happens. And they usually will fall down. That's how I know it. I just heard that little crack a second ago, like you guys know. I'm just telling you. I'm gonna let you guys go. We might get some little snow this week, I don't know. But the greenhouse will be fine with all that water stuff. I'll show you guys what the hydroponics look like before we go. Yeah, she's looking okay. That's our hydroponic system. We had to strip that off that greenhouse this morning, I told you. This is it. These are it. I'll show you in a minute. Before we get on out of here. It's getting colder. That's the company's name that makes them. I'm trying to see this thing. Yep, that's the hydroponic system. So that's what we're going to be putting up there summer. We got it all done a couple of weeks ago. It's not going to freeze the water. It's not going to hurt the bucket. It's in California. They make this thing. Probably had a lot of problems with level on the ground. That's what this is. It's a hydroponic system. That's where the water is going to be in. And our tools are in there. Nothing's going to get wet because with all the rocks and stuff. Very good stuff. But that's our hydroponic system. You guys see it here? You guys can see that? And we already got the plug for it, so that's going to run on that. We got to get the plug to repair on the portion of the time, but it's running to that light bulb up there on the floodlight with the plug. We tried it out about a week ago. So the things in the book and stuff. That's our hydroponic system. So we're growing out that way. Yeah, we got a lot of wind coming up right now. This is where you guys want to see some real stuff action. And that's the Macov whipping around right now. You guys see that? A lot of strong wind. That's what we do, but it's looking okay. I think they can handle that quite good. That's the worst it'll do. That's what we do. Beam doesn't do it that much. Same height, 22 feet. The other one's 21 feet. It's 40 foot on the top. So she's alright. She can fling back in. That's what they do on the Macov. So that's what they do. All you have to, like I told you guys, what I told you about. So she's looking okay. Looking good. So I'll let you guys go. Alright. So we're just gonna let you guys go. This is 362 East Tennessee, 79 Smokescreen, Shockwave. And have a great morning out there, you guys. We'll bring out more videos soon. Just want to show you some wind tests with the Sirio antenna and part hydroponics. So I'll catch y'all later.